Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Peach and Wine podcast.
Yay!
Today's podcast is going to be about love and loyalty. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
How would you? I'm asking you one. How would you
Mhm.
describe love?
I love that question.
You still love that
love
question.
to me, love to me is something that cannot be explained.
Mm-hmm.
It's unconditional. Like
Right.
it's me asking you today, Peach, why do you love me? And you
Mm.
giving me an answer wouldn't be you loving me. Let me
Oh.
explain why. Because when you love someone, you shouldn't have you shouldn't have an answer to why you love someone. You just love that person. Because let's
Okay.
say you tell me, I love you because of the way you are, which means if one day I change, you're not going to love
Oh.
me anymore.
Okay. That's
If you
interesting.
love me because I am pretty,
Mm-hmm.
when I become ugly, you're not going to love me anymore.
Mm.
Right? It's like love is something that cannot be explained. Is you looking at someone and be like,
Incomparable.
man, I don't know why I love that person. She's crazy, she's whatever that she
There's
is,
something.
but I just
Yeah.
love them. There's
Mm-hmm.
something that I can't explain, but I just love that person. It's the same thing with like you kids. When you look at your children, sometimes they drive you crazy, but you just feel like,
You can say
why
that
do I
again.
love these? Why do I love these little things? They just drive me crazy.
Yeah.
You see,
Listen.
this is
Right.
what love should be. Like it's something that you cannot give a proper definition to because
Mm-hmm.
you cannot really like attribute it to something special.
Yes. I totally agree. I mean, now that you explain it, because at first I was like, fine, I'm confused. But I get your point, and it's just easy to get. And
Mm,
just a little add on what you said about love. So I have a friend that you know. I'm not gonna say
mhm,
the name here, but she said we were talking about something in general, and
mhm,
she said something like wh- she said. But okay, let me remind you. Well, I think we were talking about relationship, but I know here we're not talking about relationship. We're just talking about love in general. But
sure.
and she said God is loving, like God is love, something like that.
Mhm.
God is love or God is loving. So for her, that's just her definition of love. So
Of love, it's like
mhm,
God is.
yes, the way that God is a loving God, she wants to, and she just, as you said, we can't. You have your own definition of love.
Mhm.
But saying that God is love, in the way that we can't really describe like who God is, what God can do, like in the
Yeah,
same
that
way
makes
how
more
God,
sense.
yeah.
Mm,
So I was like, okay, it's so deep. It's something simple to say, but I was like,
yeah.
damn, that's how deep love is. Like,
Yeah, that makes sense.
so I was like, okay, that's
Mhm.
interesting. That's very interesting. And
Yeah.
you were just talking about children, loving children. It's just the same way. And like, I have a son. Sometimes I'm just like, I could even imagine that one day I would have a son that's a kid.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, I just look at him. I'm like, oh my God, okay, I love this little person.
Yeah.
Why? I mean,
That's another.
I don't even know. Maybe, I mean,
Yeah.
because I don't want to say because I'm his mother, because there are people out there. I mean, we don't, I'm
Who
not
can't
gonna,
be mothers.
I'm not throwing shade to people, but things are
Mhm.
happening and they have whatever is happening in their life. But I'm just like, wow, I love this little person, and I can't explain how deep my love is towards him. It's just really, and you can't explain it. It's so incomparable. The only thing I can compare it with is just the same way you kind of. see God and love God. That's why I'm like, oh, wait, this is how deep it can be. It's just crazy. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, I
And it's
agree.
scary to love. It's the same way. I'm like, love is a
I mean,
really
it's
wild topic.
I wouldn't say that it's crazy to love. I mean, scary to love. I would say that it is hard to love,
Mm.
because if we have to
Why?
talk about love in general,
Mm-hmm.
it's something that everybody should just be born with. Like, you should be
Technically, yeah.
born loving. You shouldn't have to learn how to love.
Right.
But unfortunately, we live in a society where, like, you are kind of forced to learn how to love, because there is so many things
Yes.
that are happening
We
around us
not.
that
Mm-hmm. We are not.
you kind of like have to watch out for yourself, or like
Right.
you have to be on high alert, which means you can't trust people easier. You can And the first thing, like, about love, you cannot love someone that you don't trust. You have to
Exactly.
trust first, and
Mm-hmm.
then you're gonna like learn how to love
Mm-hmm.
properly. And yeah, it is really, it's a very challenging thing to do, because, as I said, I was telling you that I was gonna like go into like a short story time, not
Mm-hmm.
really a story time, but just explain to people a little bit how hard it was, like,
Just little
for me as a
experience.
person
Mm-hmm.
to learn how to love. Because,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said, everybody should be born loving, but I guess I wasn't. I don't know. I wouldn't say that I wasn't, but I think as I grew up, I just um started to love people less.
And I don't want to cut you off, but you just said you won't say that you were not born with it. And I agree, because I won't say
Hmm.
that you were not born with it. I would say you just needed, like, some people just need, I don't know, it's just like a flower. You need water, you need the sun, you need something so that the flower can bloom, right?
Hmm.
So I'm just assuming that you probably just needed something or go through some kind of experience or whatever so that you can technically, what you just said, learn how to love by, if you have to cut people, that's just how you work. And it could be different from other for other people. So I just
I
thought
think
about
it's
that.
mostly like I had to see what it was like,
Mm,
or like to understand the meaning of love. It's just like when you see those older couples, and then you're like, oh, I want to be like them, you know.
mm-hmm.
It's like seeing something like that, and you realizing that, oh, that's something that I want to
You want
do,
to
that I
do.
want to achieve when
Mhm.
I get older. I want to be like, I want to have a husband and be a old couple and sit down on my porch and like drink wine or drink tea, if you haven't seen it in your life, you're not gonna it's not gonna be something that you will want in your life,
Mhm.
because you don't know what that is. But once you see it and you feel like, oh, that's something interesting, you
Yeah.
start learning about it, and I think it was
Mm.
mainly that my thing. 'Cause
Okay.
I was like, I was an only child for so long,
Mhm.
so I didn't know what it was like to love a sibling. Like, I didn't even
Mm.
know what was a sibling. I was an only child. I didn't have to share my mom with anyone. I didn't have to share my uncles. I didn't have to share my aunts. I didn't have to share. I mean, I would say my uncles and aunt because I had cousins,
That's how we are
but like
different, even
I
from our past.
always, yeah, I always felt like I was the most important thing in my family because I was the first child in my family.
Mhm.
So like everybody was literally like watching my every move, like when I was a kid growing up and all that, which
The
is
little
why I said
princess.
that I did know, I mean, I did experience love, but I didn't know what it was. So
Um.
then I grow up and I get to have my first sibling.
Mhm.
And I was just like,
Yo,
that's
what is
just
this?
a little person that is taking away the attention that I've always had.
Mhm.
why should I want that in my life? Why would I? And the thing is, it's not even that I like you're gonna talk about siblings rivalry when the siblings are very, very young. I was like 11 years old. So I was supposed to be understanding,
Yeah.
but at that part of my life I've never really experienced like on a whole nother level the siblings love, meaning that I mean, my uncles and my aunts that I grew up with, they were like siblings, but they are not my mom's kids.
Right, right.
So
Mm-hmm.
I always knew that I belong to my mom. So I have my mom, she's
Mm-hmm.
my own. And now I see another little person
Like, why do I have
who's
to
taking,
share?
first of all, is taking all her time, taking, everybody's talking about that person, like, oh my God, there's a new baby. Oh, she's so cute. She's so pretty. She's so beautiful. And I
Look
was
at
just
this hater.
over it. Yeah, I mean, I was just over it. And you know, the funny part in all that is
What?
like my sister, she always loved me. I
Oh,
don't know why. She was always trying to get, she was always talking, like,
it's
she was
always
always
like this
trying to
though.
get
Somehow.
near, yeah, she was always trying to get near me and like, and I would just like push her and be like, "No, go away!" Like I'm telling you, I was straight up mean with that girl. I was
Mhm.
literally mean, and the point is like everybody else, they were just because African families, they didn't understand that
Understand
this is
it.
a
Mm-hmm.
process that I'm going through, that I have to understand that this is
Yeah,
my
as a
sibling
kid.
and
Mm-hmm.
she's not a threat. She's like just here because that's my
Yes,
sister.
that's mm-hmm.
Instead of making me understand that, they made it seems like, oh, you just hate her,
Mm. Like
you
you were
just
the
don't like your
problem.
sister. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
how could you? She's a baby. How could you
Mm-hmm.
do that? How? And that made me literally dislike my sister at the strongest
More.
point.
Oh
Then
my
I couldn't
god.
even imagine, because and then I was a kid, so I didn't even know what was
Mm-hmm.
going on in my mind. Like, why can't I just, why I can't
Mm-hmm.
stand this kid? I see my cousins every day. I see my uncles and all that, but why is that particular
Yeah.
person that I cannot stand? And mind you, after her, there are other ones that came
Mm-hmm.
after her. And the other ones, I didn't have that issue with the other ones
Because
because,
she was already there.
yeah, she was already there and already had like that kind of problem.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say problem. And then as I was
Yeah,
growing,
it's a problem. It's a difficulty that you had.
when I met I'm not gonna say her name, but you know her, I'm gonna tell you.
Mm-hmm.
She passed, so you know who I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about. And when I met her and I met her family,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw how tight they were,
Mm-hmm.
despite like I mean the siblings rivalry and all that. I saw the love that was coming from this family, and I was like, maybe there's something that I'm not doing
Doing
correctly.
correctly.
Because
So as
I'm
you
gonna
grow,
say it, but and as I saw, like as I experienced
mm-hmm.
people loving their siblings and being
This is
like,
how you
and
learn.
people telling me, yeah, and people telling me that this is completely normal. What you went through is completely normal. Like all siblings
Mm-hmm.
literally don't want the other one to come like just right after. And on top of that, you were so old that you clearly didn't think that you were gonna get
Yeah.
another sibling.
Yeah.
So people were telling me like, yeah, that I mean, you were just a kid. You didn't know what was going on. It was
Mm-hmm.
probably mishandled by the people around you and all that. And I started feeling like, oh, so if that was okay, that means I'm not crazy.
No.
That means the same way that I learned how to not like this kid, I can learn how to love her like the same
Yes.
way that I love
Mm-hmm.
other, because at the end of the day, she didn't ask to be here either.
Yes.
She didn't
And
do
she loves
anything.
you.
She just came in, and yeah, and she's always like stuck to me. So what am I gonna do? She's gonna be stuck.
Yeah.
Proof is she's stuck.
Mm.
She's stuck with me till this day. So I was literally, that's how I started like learning about
Mm-hmm.
love for my siblings and all that.
Right.
And trust me, I would literally be more friendly with other people than my own sister.
Mm.
which I didn't even understand myself. I didn't understand it myself. And all I needed, like I said from the beginning, all I needed was like to see something or
Mhm.
someone to tell me that
Give you
it
like a
is
little hint.
okay,
Yep.
and this is how it is supposed to be. This is just how
Mhm.
it is supposed to be, and you're not doing anything wrong, because I think it could have been made less harder
Yeah.
if they
Technically,
actually share the
you
attention
just
between us and be like,
yeah.
okay,
Yep.
it's totally normal. So, which
Yes.
is why I said it is very important for like you as a parent or as a person to first know what love is before you can like it's like you cannot teach something that you don't know,
Mhm.
you know. You have to teach people how to be kind, how
Yep.
to love, and how to like, and it's okay to tell them like, hey, if you're going through a rough time and if you're going to something that you don't understand, it's totally
Mhm.
normal. But
Yes.
just remember that XYZ is your blood and will always love you.
Mhm.
You know.
Mhm. Just to share something similar about your experience. So, I'm the first kid, first, but as you know, I have another sibling. We just 1 year apart.
Mm-hmm.
So he came in fast,
Yeah.
and according to because I was a kid, I don't remember. According
Of
to
course.
my mom and what my dad, I mean, according to my parents, they say I used to be mean. So I would just get
Mm-hmm.
into I would come and then scratch the baby, bite him for no reason. Like I would be mean. But then,
Mm,
okay, the difference is my mom explained the issue to my pediatrician back then. So
mm-hmm.
with the doctor's experience and everything, so they were able to explain to mom like technically it happens a lot. So what you're gonna do
Yeah.
instead of scolding or fuss or just blaming her, what
Mm-hmm.
you need to do is
Exactly.
because the other one is still a baby, so he can't really tell that okay that person has more attention, so he can't really tell the difference
Yeah.
as long as you hold
Yeah.
him, you feed him. And so what the doctor advised at that time was to give me the physical attention and
Mm-hmm.
and teach me, like when my mom was were taking care of my brother, like we'll do it together. And then
Yeah.
yes, so from there, it just, yeah, I mean, you know how our family are. We just everyone kept coming. So I was like, okay, so
Of
I need
course.
to do, yeah. So I was like, okay, so
And
I
then you
need to
get used
do,
to it.
yeah. I was just getting used to it. So I'm like, okay, let me just do what I did to this one. I will do this to
Mm,
him, her, and so on. So I was like, okay.
yeah.
So yeah, it's something that you teach and learn. That I'll
Exactly.
understand that. I understand that.
Yeah.
Now let's go to the other important part. How would you
The
describe loyalty? Yep.
huh.
How would you describe loyalty? How would you describe
Um
loyalty? What is loyalty?
I don't how would I describe loyalty? I don't even have like a very
A
tight
very
description. But what I would say loyalty is
A few moments later.
no. I mean, if you have something, I don't want to cut your thought, but if you have something
I
to say in mind,
I don't. I don't. Like
all right.
of it
So
I can't explain loyalty,
yeah,
to be
you
honest.
can explain it. Okay, so
Mhm.
I don't have,
It's
I don't have the
loyalty
definitive.
is taking a bullet for me and not telling who shot you.
Yo, whatever you said, you're gonna explain it. But for me, loyalty is first, it goes in pair. It goes like both ways with like what you describe. I mean, what we talk about love. For
Mhm.
me, loyalty is being faithful. And for me
True.
again, loyalty the same way. I mean, that's what I think while we put it together, love and loyalty. Loyalty is how you take your like how you take yourself as a person. You could
Mm-hmm.
be a good person or a bad person. We know we have so many things happening now in this world, but
Sure.
loyalty for me is if you are a good person and you know you are my best friend, whatever you know, whatever you would do, either it's good or bad, you know I got your back. If it's good,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you, all right, it's you what you did was good. If it's wrong, I say I got your back, but then in the back, with all the respect and because I am loyal to you, I'm faithful to you, I'm gonna tell you that you know what, this was wrong, but I got your
Mm-hmm.
back.
Of course.
So
I mean,
it kind of goes both ways. It's I don't
like I
know.
said,
They're like twins.
er, like I said earlier, like once you learn how to love, you learn how to be loyal.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
what do we say? What do we say that? Why do we say that? It's someone can tell me. Someone's gonna tell me, yeah, you can be loyal to someone you don't love. That's true.
That is true.
But if you love someone, you should be loyal to that person.
Yeah, and just to add on what you have, so just because okay, so personally, I like talking about me as a person, not the fact that I love someone. I know I'm a loving person. For those
Mhm.
who knows me, they will tell not to put on. I'm not trying to like be like, oh, I'm a Tinkerbell. I'm the best person in the world, but I know I'm a loving person. Just because I'm a loving person, I know I love myself. I respect myself. I'm loyal to myself. You know, the treatment that you give to yourself, you give that same treatment to people, if that makes sense. You love yourself, you love your surrounding. It doesn't mean you're gonna love them too, you know, because they're all type of love out there. If you're loyal to yourself, you are loyal to the people around you, if that makes sense.
The people will tell you if that makes sense.
They will tell me that I am 100% right.
Okay.
They will tell
I
me.
mean, I'm not I'm not arguing with that because
Mm-hmm.
that's fact. Like, um, let's say someone trusted you with sensitive information.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we'll take an example. You end up in jail with
Mm-hmm.
someone, and I want to make that statement. I don't think there are more loyal people than the people in jail. I'm just gonna
Mm-hmm.
say it. You go to jail, you meet someone, and then you tell them something. If you and that person created a bond,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
That person is never going to like tell what you told
Yep.
them.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
They are going to be loyal to you till the day they die.
Listen, and they'll
And
be in prison for life.
that's just the purest description of loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
Is like I trusted you with a sensitive information,
Mm-hmm.
and you hold it like that was your life.
Basic, yes, because you trust him or her, whoever
Yeah,
the person is with your life.
exactly. Because
Mm-hmm.
if someone trusts you enough to tell you something specific about their lives that they're probably not telling everybody,
Mm-hmm.
like you
Not
shouldn't be
probably,
the
they're definitely
one.
not.
Yeah, you shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
be the one going ahead and telling their stories or whatever that they told you to someone else without their approval.
Listen, the world
Like,
is weird
I
out
just
there.
don't know how people nowadays feel just so comfortable betraying what they so called
You
friends
just call
or what they
you
so
just said
called,
betrayed. That's the word.
yeah,
That is
what
the
they just so called
word.
friends or what they just so called boyfriend or girlfriend or husband and wife. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if I am married to someone and that person comes and tells me something about, let's say, their past, or I don't know, something that happened to them, it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter how best friends I am with Fair Peach, sorry,
That's okay.
doesn't matter how best friend I am with Peach, if that person told me not to tell anyone, I'm not
Mhm.
gonna tell her because that's not my place.
Mhm.
When that person is gonna be ready, when let's say my husband or whatever is gonna be ready to tell Peach what's going
Mhm.
on, they're gonna go ahead and tell them themselves.
Yep.
So I just don't understand how people get so comfortable nowadays just pure betraying people
Yep.
and just like how do you even sleep at night, bro?
Oh my God! Listen.
How do you sleep at night
Ay,
knowing that you
Lord,
actually causing someone else's anxiety to rise to the top?
Lord, like
How?
how? This is how I'm going to repeat it again. This is how, when you are a good person, you're gonna think about it at night and be like, you know what? Oh my God, I know I did wrong. I did something wrong.
Yep. Yep.
And we are we are all human. You did something wrong. There's no like there are absolutely plenty. You have plenty options to still come back and apologize to the person, or you know, out of respect for yourself first. Like, just
Hmm.
respect yourself. Like, come on, man. You
Yeah.
respect
I mean,
yourself. You know you did
let's
something
say
that's not appropriate. Just out of respect and excuse yourself.
let's precise something. We're not telling we're not saying here that if someone's go ahead and tell something that they're um like absolutely the worst people in this entire
Oh
world.
no.
What we're saying is like if because there's always two sides of the story. I would
Mhm.
say that if that person goes ahead and tells someone else's business,
Mhm.
it's probably because they thought they were doing good.
The good
They
thing,
probably
right?
thought they were
Right.
helping the person, or they thought they were like helping the situation or
Mhm.
whatever that's going on. But what I just want people to understand is whenever a story is not yours, it is not your place to tell. It doesn't
Yes.
matter if it comes from the good place or no.
Let
You
me
have to make sure that the person who told you the story is comfortable enough for you to tell
definitely.
it.
And I want to add something about it. Loyalty, we just said it. Loyalty is trust. You're loyal to the person, you trust the person, is equal. When you got the trust and loyalty, you are definitely mature enough to, if let's say you're trying to help someone, and then that person, as Wine said, she shared the story or whatever, she said um whatever the person said, and you being mature, you're gonna go back to the person and talk to that person and be like, okay, are you comfortable enough for me to do this and that for you? Acknowledging that, that part of your life will be out there, or that part of work, this and that will be out there. And now, as I mean, I'm assuming we are grown adults, even teenagers, whatever, because that the podcast is for everyone. So you take the maturity to talk to whoever you're supposed to be mature enough to talk to the person. And once you guys are done figuring out whatever the decision is gonna be, you need to take accountability of the consequences, because that's the part too. Taking accountability of whatever is gonna be like all the feedbacks now, and that's the hard,
True.
that's the hard path
Oh
sometimes.
yeah. Oh, trust me. At that point, these people are not ready to take
Yeah.
accountability when it comes to that. That's the saddest part. But
Mm-hmm.
I will always say that even if you don't like me, if you're loyal to me, you have my respect forever.
Oh yes. Mm-hmm.
And that's just a fact.
Yes. Yes. Loyalty is respect. Listen. I'm going to repeat myself again. You respect yourself as a person. See, you gotta be proud. You gotta be a proud person too. This is just me putting myself out there. I'm so proud of myself. I can't take. I can't disrespect someone. And if I do it, and you let me know that I did it, I will apologize out of respect. But I might tell you, you know what? I really don't know what I did wrong, but let me apologize out of respect because I don't want, I don't want that person to put on shade on me. Next time, this word is just, it's a small word. We might need each other one day. We never know. So, as
Okay.
one said, you loyal to someone, you loyal to her or to me, you got all my respect 100%. Go ahead when you were trying to
Forever.
say something. Yeah, you were trying to say something,
I
but I
forgot what
cut
I was
you off.
gonna say. I forgot what I was gonna say, but
That's because I cut you off. Sorry.
let me see. That was. I mean, it wasn't important because if it's important, you gotta remember it.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, basically, it's what she said. Like you, whenever you feel like you cannot be loyal to people, which is fine. You just
Hmm.
have to take accountability for it.
Yeah.
Like when the backlashes come, you got to be accountable. And then the crazy part in all that is like those people, even when they come to you to apologize, they're not just apologizing, they're giving you excuses. And they're
Hmm.
giving you reasons why. I don't want reasons why. You already did what you did.
Hmm.
I don't need reasons why. I just need for you to acknowledge that you did something that was not okay and
Yes.
you understand why I'm upset.
Hmm.
That's it.
Hmm. Hmm. And here's
Yeah.
the thing.
So,
Well, we want people, sorry, to have in mind that we're still gonna emphasize on that. No shades. We're just here to talk facts. We are just here to
yeah.
talk facts about the word itself, what
Yeah.
we've seen people experiencing, because people will come to us and
Mhm.
ourselves too, our own experience. So yeah, we're just
Of
talking about,
course, yeah. Exactly. That this is why we want to make sure that nobody's thinking that the podcast is directed to them because
yeah,
it is solely based on observation on
yeah.
everything that's going around us, and
Mhm.
we're not like throwing shade at anyone, or we're not putting anyone. I mean, that's not our job to put people business outside.
For those
And
who
the
know
thing is
us,
with
definitely
us,
not.
if we want to say something about somebody, we'll be saying the names.
Listen, and in
We
front
will
of
be
your face,
saying who we're talking
at
about,
your
and
face,
we're
man,
telling you in front of your
in
face, like
your
she said.
face
So yeah.
directly. But
So yeah. So please, people, just relax and enjoy the podcast.
yeah, and then the just take what's informative in it, and then
Exactly.
we
And then
are.
throw away whatever that you don't like.
Mhm. And we are everyone here are willing to learn. Like myself, I like to learn. I'm a good learner. If there's anything that you want to add again, you know, hit us on DM us, comments,
Yeah.
anything
Comment.
that you want
We're
us
gonna
to.
answer.
Hmm. You want
If
to
you don't share our thoughts, you can also voice yourself,
exactly.
but just
Hmm.
be respectful, and we'll hear you.
Yeah. Overall, that's
And
Go ahead. You want to say something?
no, I was just gonna say, to end up the podcast on a note of like a wise
Mm-hmm.
words. I would tell people, like I said earlier, when you learn how to love, you learn how to be loyal. So
Mm-hmm.
please, I don't know, look around you,
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know, be mindful of people when you
Yeah.
do things. Be Think about other people's feelings when you try to do something. Think
Mm-hmm.
about like if it's a friend, is it gonna hurt my friend or is it gonna help my friend? And just try to be a better version. If you haven't been the best, I mean, we're all learning, we're
Mm-hmm.
all trying to become better persons every day, but just
Definitely.
try to do your best, because the words need doesn't need more hate. So please, guys,
Yes,
try
and that's
to
the whole.
spread love.
Yes, that's the purpose of this. Like, that's of this. I'm gonna say journey because the podcast here, that the whole that podcast is gonna be the Peach and One podcast, and I have to rephrase it. It's a whole journey. We are going
Yes.
to learn, share experience, and everything. So you got overall the the information that you want us to put out there. You learn how to
Mm-hmm.
love.
Try your hard to be loyal.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's it for today.
Yeah.
Or do you want to add something?
No, I mean, I just love the ending. You learn how to love, and then that will make you become a faithful person. Being a faithful person
Yep,
means you are loyal. So
exactly.
yeah. So
I mean,
yeah. She said it me.
uh, the I mean.
Yeah, so
Thank you guys for
we're gonna end
listening
up
to
this.
today's podcast.
Hmm.
Don't forget to subscribe, to share, because when you like something, you share too. So don't forget to subscribe, to share, to like click on the bell so that you don't miss any of our uploads.
Hmm.
And I mean, we'll see you when we see you guys.
All right. You have a good one.
Bye.
See ya.